Hello Barmy Badger Army, welcome to today's show. Today we're going to talk about for and against with Power Rangers becoming a cartoon. Now, I am very on the fence about this, so there's mixed ideas about this one, and of course I've talked to a lot of different people about the ideas, and they're very much on the fence as well, so it's going to be interesting to iron out some of the positives and the negatives. Now, let's start with for Power Rangers becoming a cartoon. Now, this is going to be an interesting point here, and I've talked about this with some people. Obviously, they will be starting afresh. They'll be able to reach new fans that maybe the live action series didn't reach, and then it will become bigger. And I'm guessing that's what Hasbro and all that sort of thing would like to see what happens. Now, obviously the positive of this thing with it becoming more global is more money, and of course then the Power Rangers brand becoming massive like it did in the 90s. Now, obviously getting back to the cartoon, what would be brilliant to see with that is a more in-depth storyline, perhaps well drawn out, slower build, starting off more linear and then bringing it up to speed. And obviously we get new appearances, new characters, perhaps new collaborations. Obviously Hasbro opens up the world to lots of different things like Ghostbusters, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like all these different things. Perhaps they might be able to bring in with a bit more sway. Obviously Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is owned by Nickelodeon, but perhaps they can try and sort something out with, you know, the rights and things like that. And they'll be able to bring him in, because there is a Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. So perhaps they could try and sway and bring in some different things. And I think that'd be fantastic. And it'd be really interesting to see the growth of such a cartoon. And like I was saying, it would bring in the awesome ability of bringing in new people in, and perhaps they're eager, they're hungry to make it as popular as they can with a new film on the horizon. Maybe they want to start it where it's two separate entities. There's a cartoon and then there's a film one. Whereas obviously before, I'm guessing it could get quite confusing with the Power Rangers live action series, and then there being a live action film. There's no way of really differentiating it for you if you're a bog standard Joe Nobody parent who's not really into it and just grabbing stuff from a shelf for a kid. So there is that sort of thing. But yes, I'm excited to see what they could do with it being a cartoon. The budget would be lower, unfortunately, but I'm guessing that's what they want. They want it to be cheaper. They don't want to have to pay out for actors, CGI, buying the Super Sentai and the Sentai series, all the different rights. They don't want to have to do these sorts of things. They don't want to have to buy out for all this stuff. They want to do it all in-house. And that could be awesome, because it'd be a really interesting, fresh take on it. But we'll see, won't we? Now let's go on to the against it becoming a cartoon. Now, there's a plethora. Obviously, if you look at it, there's over 30 years worth of Super Sentai and Sentai and all these different series that they've been bringing in. There's all these different things that they've brought in, right? There's all this footage that they could use. So they just need to buy the rights of a certain series and pop it in and do these sorts of things, which is fantastic. Really speedy stuff. Now, against, don't forget. So, all this history that's been brought in, the very soul of Power Rangers, the Super Sentai stuff, the very soul of the Power Rangers will be obliterated, it will go, because they'll make it into an American clone of it. It won't be what it was. So, does that mean it's copying itself? It's going to become a rehash of itself. And that's what may happen. Plus, obviously, with that happening, you may alienate the original fans, the older guys, the ones with the real money that are interested. You know, let's not beat around the bush. Parents are not going to buy a £1,000 replica of a Dragon Zord. But a guy in his 30s with plenty of cash in his pocket will. So that's the thing. Will they end up alienating the real fans? Will they end up alienating people that go to Comic Cons, that go to see Jason David Frank in the middle of a COVID crisis, that do all these things that are insane? Will they alienate these people? Most likely, yes, because it's not what they grew up with. It's not the source material. It's a random cartoon that Hasbro chucked out on the telly. And it may only last one season. What are they going to do? Go back to it being live action. So it will be very costly in the process. Because if the cartoon flops, what are they going to do? Sell it back to Saban? Or sell it to Disney? Do these things? What are they going to do? So really, surely, it would be sensible to not necessarily play it safe, but just carry on as normal. Carry on as it should be. Do the things that they should be doing. Using the costumes from the different series, doing all these different things that are, using the special effects, using the actors that are chosen. More actors' jobs. Everyone knows because of COVID-19, being an actor is quite hard at the minute. Surely they want to support that industry, no? There's lots of different things in there, like the filming. They're getting rid of all these jobs, aren't they? All these jobs that were there. Costume departments, CGI guys, actors, makeup, all these sorts of things are going to be obliterated. So that is definitely against, isn't it? Because all these jobs are going to go, and you're just going to get a guy that's going to probably go, well, I'm a big fan of Power Rangers, let me animate it. And we've seen what happened with Thundercats Go, haven't we? Yes, we know that Teen Titans Go was actually a parody. It was meant to be stupid. It was meant to be over the top. It was meant to be funny. And if you didn't get that joke, please go back and watch that in general. Watch the original series and then watch Teen Titans Go. And remember, it's actually meant to be stupid and meant to be a parody. And then enjoy it. I recommend the film. But Thundercats Raw is just a big pile of dirging poo. Because they did it on purpose, right? They purposely went out to take the mickey out the source material. And the guy was like, I'm a big Thundercats fan. And he's obviously not, because he absolutely obliterated the source material. Took it, shoved it in a blender, and go, ho, here you go. No. So this is what I do worry about it. The source material will get weakened. You'll get some Joe Blow Nobody, who's a 21-year-old schmuck, going, let me at it, guys, I'm awesome. No! I bet it's going to be the same guy as well. Can you imagine if they turn Power Rangers into a parody series? It could happen. That's the thing. So, what you'd end up getting is maybe one or two series that were really good, really popular, really sort of hard, gritty, animated style. They flop, and then they go, well, let's just go the Cartoon Network, Ben 10, Teen Titans Go parody route. Can you imagine if that happens? Can you imagine if that happens? It just turns into a parody of itself, and then it would be a total disaster because you wouldn't get a film anymore. You wouldn't get a proper live action series anymore. You wouldn't get any of the newest Sentai series remade. You wouldn't get anything done the way you would like it. It would just become a parody of itself. And maybe here and there in the comic books and maybe the odd video game, if we're lucky, there would be a serious rendition of it. But who knows? All we can do is hope that Jason David Frank's Legend of the White Dragon, or whatever it's called, will end up being really good. And of course there's been other really gritty Power Rangers different things that have been on YouTube and things like that. So what does this mean? Does this mean that they're going to go one or the other? Are they going to make it grittier? Are they going to stick to the source material? Or are they going to make it a total parody of itself? I'd love to think. So my for and against is quite balanced in some ways, because obviously I'm looking forward to a cartoon maybe for an expanded plot, and bring in new characters and bring in obviously an ongoing story arc and maybe some really cool voice actors that are going to be in there. You know, you might get some really awesome stuff going on if they do actors and things like that. Obviously the negatives are it may totally away from the source material, become a parody of itself, and obviously people will lose jobs and it may lose its soul because it's no longer going to use the original source material. I'd love to know what you think in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Look after yourselves, Barmy Badger Army. Let me know your for and against, you said God of Thunder, for and against for this, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Bye!